the man who audited his own life. Every April, Daniel Mercer signed off on other people's numbers. He was a CPA, meticulous, conservative, rational. He believed in clean ledgers, balanced columns, documented proof. He trusted what could be reconciled. What he never thought to audit was the one account that governed all the others, his mind. Act 1. The Stage. Daniel's days were ordinary. Coffee at 6:15, traffic by 7 o'clock, clients by 8 o'clock. He watched numbers rise and fall like tides. Businesses failed, marriages dissolved, retirements evaporated, new ventures bloomed and collapsed within fiscal quarters. He told himself this was life: gains and losses, profit and deficit, birth and death. Yet a quiet question stalked him. If every ledger eventually closes, what is the point of all the entries? He pushed it away. People did that. You don't build a career by questioning the premise of the economy. But the question persisted, because in the end, every client died. Every portfolio transferred. Every building changed hands. Every body aged. Every story concluded. If the final column is always 0, what gives the spreadsheet meaning? Act 2. The Seat in the Audience. One evening, after a long tax season, Daniel had a strange thought. What if this entire day, this entire life, were a stage play? He imagined sitting in a quiet theater. Beside him sat a gentle presence, not intrusive, not demanding, just still. On the stage below was Daniel, the accountant, rushing through emails, worrying about interest rates, smiling politely at clients he resented, feeling small spikes of irritation at minor inconveniences. He watched himself, not to correct, not to condemn, just to watch. And something unexpected happened. The one watching felt different from the one performing. The man on stage was reactive, anxious, hopeful, defensive, proud. The one in the audience was calm. The stage, Daniel believed the promotion would fix him. The audience, Daniel saw the promotion rise and fall like a prop change between scenes. The stage, Daniel feared aging. The audience, Daniel saw the body as a costume in a temporary role. And then he noticed something sharper. Whenever judgment appeared, I shouldn't have said that, she's wrong, this is unfair, I failed. He was no longer in the audience. He was back on stage. Judgment was the giveaway. Looking without judgment meant he was seated beside wisdom. Judging meant he had turned left, toward the ego, and forgotten he was watching a play. Act 3. Devastation. There was a line that unsettled him. The miracle looks on devastation. At first he resisted it. Devastation? His life wasn't devastation. He had a mortgage, a 401k, 2 healthy kids, a respectable practice. But when he widened the lens, he saw it. Every client he helped would die. Every asset he preserved would pass to someone else. Every achievement would be replaced by a new one. Every joy would fade. Every body would fail. If permanence is the measure of meaning, the world collapses under scrutiny. Devastation doesn't mean dramatic tragedy. It means built-in impermanence. The world was constructed so that nothing lasts. And that is not a moral failure. It is structural design. The devastation is not that things fall apart. The devastation is believing they were meant to hold. Act 4. The Audit That Matters. Daniel began a new practice. He still filed returns, he still balanced books, he still paid tuition and scheduled dentist appointments. He did not leave his job. He did not abandon his family. He did not become outwardly mystical. He simply shifted purpose. When anxiety rose, he watched it. When pride rose, he watched it. When he caught himself trying to fix someone, to improve them, correct them, subtly elevate himself, he watched that too. He noticed how often his goodness had been specialness in disguise, helping to feel superior, succeeding to feel secure, correcting to feel in control. On stage, it looked virtuous. From the audience, it looked frightened. And here was the pivot. He stopped trying to fix the stage. He stopped expecting meaningful change from the props. He stopped demanding permanence from impermanence. Instead, he practiced changing his interpretation. The world did not need to transform. His purpose did. Act 5. Do-gooders and decision-makers. Daniel noticed something unsettling in himself. He had always thought of himself as ethical, responsible, generous. But from the audience seat, he saw the subtle contracts hidden inside his virtue. I'll help, but I need appreciation. I'll give, but I need acknowledgement. I'll sacrifice, but I need moral leverage. Goodness can reinforce separation when it is used to secure identity. But something else was possible. He could still prepare taxes, still volunteer, still show up for his children, but not to change the world, not to secure meaning, not to outrun death, simply as an expression of a mind that was no longer fighting the play. He began to act without the secret hope that the stage would save him. That changed everything. Act 6. The real change. The most radical insight came slowly. The world was not made for meaningful change. It was made to fluctuate, rise and fall, gain and lose, build and decay. Expecting ultimate stability from it was like expecting the theater set to become permanent housing. But the mind, the one sitting in the audience, could change. The decision-maker could choose again, not by altering scenes, but by altering interpretation. Daniel realized that peace did not come from balancing the external ledger. It came from remembering he was not the character in the column. He was the one watching the numbers rise and fall. The dream figure could never stabilize the dream, but the dreamer could awaken from identification with it. Epilogue. Meaning restored. Daniel still signs off on tax returns. He still laughs at dinner. He still gets irritated in traffic. But more often now he catches it. Oh, there he is again. Frightened, trying to secure permanence in a temporary scene. And instead of condemning the actor, he softens toward him. Because if there is no judgment, there is no ego. And if there is no ego, there is only quiet observation. That observation does not deny the world. It simply refuses to mistake it for ultimate reality. Nothing here ultimately works. Everything here eventually ends. But meaning is restored the moment the purpose shifts. Not to fix the stage, not to perfect the performance, but to sit beside wisdom, watch the devastation without fear, and remember, what seems real is not necessarily true, and the one who knows that is not on the stage at all.